I read and listened to a total of 4 books in January, so let's talk about them. I started the month with my first audiobook ever, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and honestly, I don't think I could have picked a better first audiobook. It was literally the perfect audiobook experience, and I cannot recommend it enough. I made a whole video talking about how much I loved it, so please be sure to check it out, but honestly, cannot recommend it enough. I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was just so great. Up next, another audiobook was Demon Copperhead, a book that I somehow adored even more. I honestly think Demon Copperhead is flawless. And if we're being honest, it might literally be like my favorite book of all time. I made a video blushing all about that, so please check that out too. But really, I cannot recommend Demon Copperhead enough, especially if you're a young man who grew up in or around Appalachia and never dealt with addiction in your family. My third book of the month, an Audible exclusive, was The Breach by Nick Cutter. So this was kind of my first horror book of the month, and it definitely was a change of pace relative to the other 2 I had already read. The book was definitely scary and honestly downright disgusting with the body horror at times. If you enjoy Bugsy kind of wet body horror is the only way I can really describe it, I think this book is worth checking out. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, I would say. I definitely wanted a little bit more out of it, but I think relative to how long it was, which was like 8 hours, it's not a bad investment. Up next was the first physical book of 2025 that I finished, The Stand by Stephen King. This is maybe the longest book I have ever read, but I was somehow left wanting more. Luckily, a short story compilation based in the universe of The Stand is coming out later this year. I already have it pre-ordered, and I'm looking forward to that because it should take care of all those little loose ends I wanted tied up. But honestly, it was such a great read. It did drag a little bit at times. I think there was like 100-ish pages that I felt were a little bit drawn out, but that's going to happen whenever you're crafting such a great universe and such a great narrative. I really can't recommend The Stand enough, and I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So that's what I read in the month of January. I am currently reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm currently listening to Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Some early thoughts on The Only One Left. It's all right. I mean, it's a thriller book. It's definitely making me turn the pages, but I think it does have a few of those thriller cliches. My early knee-jerk rating would probably be like 3.5 out of 5, but we'll see if my opinion changes down the line. In terms of Red Rising, I think I'm 7 or 8 chapters in, and I honestly really enjoy all the premises of the book. The problem is the narration itself kind of seems a little bit weird, and not like the narrator, but rather just the quality of the audio. It seems really compressed and kind of quiet, so I ended up buying the entire series because it was like $40. So I think I'm just going to have to read it after I finish Red Rising, the first book in terms of Audible. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of the books I listed and what you thought about them. I would love to hear all about that in the comment section down below. And please be sure to follow along for more book and reading content.